What's going on, everybody? Hope you've been well. I've been well. I've been kind of doing some traveling. I've been working on other video projects not Yu-Gi-Oh related, and therefore I haven't really posted in a few weeks. So I want to do this video here, which is gonna, I don't know, I intend it to be almost like a mini podcast, like where I just talk about the game. I talk about the news in the last few weeks that I haven't put out individual videos for, and kind of just catch myself back up to kind of what the game is now and talk about my thoughts on kind of developments and things like that, so I can start posting again regularly with, you know, kind of modern news and have my thoughts all out there on what's already been talked about, right? So I'll start off by saying I have some new social media accounts. I have a Twitter now for the Yu-Gi-Oh channel. So there's a link in the description below. I believe it's @PhantomsYGO on Twitter or on X, whatever. I also have a Discord. So it's not super active right now, to be honest, but you're welcome to join. Talk about whatever deck you want. That's usually covered on my channel with other like-minded individuals. It's a, you know, place for actual creativity and for constructive criticism. Like, no negativity is desired for that Discord. So yeah, you're welcome to join that. And then I guess while I'm at it, I'll plug my other socials. I have an Instagram for my photography, and then I have photography YouTube channel, so you can check all those out in the description below. They're in every YouTube description box of all of my videos, so I'll just talk about them while I'm here. Alright, so on to the Yu-Gi-Oh now. Oh, and also, if you want to just skip to any particular topic, I'll have timestamps below. So if you don't want to hear about Infinite Forbidden because you've heard about it 1,000 times, you can go ahead and skip to whatever part you want. But I'm going to talk about it. Infinite Forbidden, the pre-release comes out this weekend. Hopefully this video is out today. I'm recording this on Friday, July 12th, so hopefully I put it out today. And I'm going to 2 sneak peeks because I'm trying to play what I call the Fiendsmith lottery. I'm really trying to get Fiendsmith for the NAWCQ, which I am attending as well. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I want the Fiendsmith core for whatever deck I'm going to play, and I'm down to 2 decks. Or I've narrowed it down to 2 decks that I might want to play with Fiendsmith. So, yeah. Fiendsmith is an insane engine. And I don't know. It's really unfortunate that it's coming out the weekend of Nats, and that it's secret rares out the wazoo. Like, that is so annoying. If I wasn't going to Nats, I wouldn't really care. And then if it was like all super rares and ultra rares, I also wouldn't care because I would have a little bit more confidence that I would be able to find them. But being able to find 3 Fiendsmith Engraver in a week, you know, without being able to order it online or anything, is not going to be fun. So that's kind of draining the fun out of the NAWCQ prep for me. Is like just anxiety about finding these cards, because I really do believe that you need them to succeed in this tournament, especially with the decks I want to play. I'll talk about other options later on when I get to the NAWCQ like topic, but yeah, I really think you do need those cards to succeed with the decks that I want, and it's kind of unfortunate. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to 2 sneak peeks this weekend in the Pittsburgh area, so hopefully I can come across. I'm not too worried about finding the Tractus, the spell card, the one-of secret rare, and the Requiem, the Link 1 secret rare. Like, those are one-ofs in almost everyone's lists. It's just the engravers are going to be absolutely miserable to find. So hopefully, like, friends pull them and I can borrow them. You know, anyone that's not going to Nats, I can just borrow. That would be so clutch. So we'll see how that goes. Moving on, I want to talk about the Whitewoods cards. I think these cards are super cool, and I think after NAWCQ hype dies down, I don't know, people are going to be all over these just because they look cool. You know, we got the waifu effects coming in, and it's just like a cool engine. Like, playing with the toy box stuff out of the Battles of Legends, and maybe playing it with Centurion. It just like opens up a lot of creativity, which is super cool. And that's a kind of deck that I like, is kind of just getting a core where you can splash it in with whatever other core you really want and potentially have it work, and just kind of it promotes creative deck building. Not to meme about Konami's post about no ban list, where they say, you know, no ban list till August because we want to see your creative deck building. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I actually do like the Whitewoods cards, and if I wasn't going, well, I mean, I'd probably get the Fiendsmith cards anyway, but, you know, if I wasn't going to NAS, I would be kind of focused on getting those Whitewoods cards as well at the sneak peeks. But anyway, I want to talk about the Molcharmy card, Molcharmy Perulia. This is the one out of Infinite Forbidden, and then I'll talk about the other one that was just announced. So we have Molcharmy Perulia. This one is the draw one every time your opponent specials or summons a card out of their hand. I don't think this card is that great at all. I think that this card is basically as good as Phantasme, because like 95% of the time you're going to draw 2 cards, or like at most 2 cards. And that's what Phantasme already does for you. Except Phantasme gives you a body in exchange for putting a card back, but it's really the same power level as Phantasme. So I think that it's whatever. I think it will be a side deck card against certain matchups only, and it's not like a universal side deck card for going first or going second either. So it's whatever. And I don't intend to play it for the NAWCQ or intend to pick it up anytime soon. Like, of course, I'm going to want a set. Like, it's a potential side deck card that is going to be like competitive. You know, if the right format comes around where it's good, I'm going to want to have a set for sure. But I don't need it for this format, I don't think, for this NAWCQ format. So I'm going to wait. Now let's talk about the other Molcharmy card. This is the one just announced. Is out of the set after Infinite Forbidden. This is the one where you draw a card every time your opponent special summons from deck or extra deck. That card is very good. That card is very good. That card is also kind of a side deck card, because obviously when you go first, it's dead. But when you go second, it's going to be incredible, and it's going to be a turn skip against a lot of decks. So it's almost like Dimension Shifter power level, where your opponent kind of just has to stop playing, or else they just burn through all their resources, or like the relative resource advantage goes way in your favor. So I think that's where that card is, and I don't really like it. I don't really like it until the game changes, where to a point where dropping that card is not a turn skip automatically. Like, there are all the decks in the meta right now, if you drop that card, they kind of have to just like put up an awful turn 1 board or just kind of stop playing. And I'm thinking like, you know, Fiendsmith, or I mean Snake Eye or Yubel, or all the combo decks like that are at the top of the meta. Whereas, you know, if the meta is full of like Labyrinth, or if the meta is full of, you know, some kind of trap deck or whatever, then that card is just not always good to have. So it kind of like brings the power level of that card down, and only then do I think it's really like useful for the game. But right now, how the decks are going, how the cards are being created, it kind of just promotes like wombo combo decks, and that card is just too good against them. And the other problem is that the wombo combo decks can play this card themselves. Like, if you're playing Snake Eye Mirror, if the Snake Eye player who's going second drops this Molcharmy card, they just win the game, because their opponent basically has to stop playing, and then they have 1,001 card combos that can just like OTK, right? So that's why it's not good. Yeah, it lets other decks keep up with the top of the meta, but it also lets the top of the meta beat the rest of the top of the meta, and that balance, like, we don't need any more auto win cards in the game, right? So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And then there's one more card out of info that I want to talk about, which is for my Plunder fans out there, which is Dipsy Fiend. This one's, if you read this card, it's like a custom card made for Plunder. It's like the most Plunder card without Plunder in the name that I've ever seen. It basically summons itself to your opponent's field. with whatever attribute you want, and then summons one back from your grave. So you basically just go, you give your opponent whatever attribute you need, and then you go into your plunder plays. You're locked into Fiends, but Plunder Patrol is locked into Fiends anyway, so that's fine. I like this card. I think it's cool, but I don't think it's that great. Mostly because it's only good when you go first. When you go second, you really never want to give this card to your opponent. And your opponent probably already has attributes, so it's pretty much dead in your hand if you go second. You would rather just have a hand trap or non-engine or some other kind of starter thing. So yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's cool. I think it's be cool to experiment with, especially at the like local level with Plunder Patrol. But I don't think it's like breaking for the deck, right? But yeah, I'll take it. It's some kind of support. So let's roll with that. All right, let's talk about Banlist now. I'm looking down here because I have a list of stuff I want to talk about, right? Let's talk about Banlist. Konami released an announcement. First of all, stop there. Super cool that they told us, finally. I wish they told us like 2 weeks ago, but we'll take it. There's not going to be a Banlist until August, till late August. Okay, so all the WCQs are going to be on this current Banlist, and it's kind of lousy. Like, I was really hoping to not play against Snake Eye for my 3rd event in a row. Like, I don't go to that many events, like regionals, YCSs, whatever. Oh no, this would be my 4th event, the NAWCQ, where Snake Eye is tier 1 or basically tier 0. Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I'm kind of tired. I'm just tired of playing against Snake Eye. Like, as simple as that. And I know even a lot of Snake Eye players are tired of playing Snake Eye. They would rather be trying other stuff, but there's really no reason to. So, yeah, that's kind of where the meta's at. And I wish that we could get a little change. We'll see what Info does. It's not like Info is coming out with a new deck to challenge Snake Eye. It's just coming out with more Snake Eye support, essentially, in the Fiendsmith package. So I think it's just going to be the same, basically, tier list as before. Just add Fiendsmith to whatever deck that you want. So, whatever. But yeah, on the ban list, I hope to see, obviously, Snake Eye's gone. I hope to see that gone. I hope to see, honestly, like, as a branded player, I hope Sanctifier goes. I just don't want to feel obligated to play Gimmick Puppet in my deck, to be honest. So that's my motivation for Sanctifier. I also don't want to have to worry about Puppet Lock against me when I'm not playing branded. It's a whole mess. What else? Obviously, Calamity, I hope, is gone. Not that it really comes up, but when it does, it's just annoying. It's hard to think about problems in the meta when it's just been Snake Eye for like 6 months. So I don't really know what else. Tenpai, I can stand playing against that deck because like bad players can play that deck and just beat you because they activate Singing Kaiman. But yeah, I don't know. I want to increase the skill level of that deck, the skill like requirement. Like, don't give that deck free wins. So maybe like hitting the field spell down a little bit would be nice. But yeah, and then I don't know. There's nothing else to really hit. Like Yubel, like what are we gonna do there? And I guess hits. I don't know. What would you like? Does Yubel even need a hit right now? Like, it hasn't really had a time to shine yet. And yeah, I don't know what's actually broken in that deck. Nightmare Throne is really good, but it just came out. I don't know. I think that's good enough for Banlist talk. Let's talk about NAWCQ now. So I got my flights. I'm going Friday. I'm arriving Friday like afternoon and then leaving Monday morning out of Austin. So if you're there, say hello to me. I'm interested in meeting you guys. That'd be really cool. And yeah, don't be shy. Just like I like to say hi to people, so just come say what up. I've narrowed my deck choices down to like 2 decks. You know, I put out a video like a month ago saying these are like the 8 choices that I'm considering. Well, I've pretty much narrowed it down to 2, maybe 3, depending on how the Fiendsmith hunt goes. But yeah, it's probably going to be Chimera, Yubel, or Branded. If I can't get any Fiendsmith stuff, maybe Branded comes into the conversation because they obviously don't play it. But Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm working on my build right now. I've been testing a little bit. I need to start testing a lot more. Hopefully today I'll get a few matches in, so that's what I got going on for that. The decks that I expect to play, this is basically like a tier list, so I'm just gonna say it to you, but Snake Eyes and Yubel at the top, with Snake Eyes a little bit higher, and then beyond that, I feel like all of the other non-Fiendsmith decks are going to be high in popularity, just because people are just not going to want to bother picking up the Fiendsmith cards. So we have Tenpai, obviously, we have Branded, obviously, and then maybe we could see a couple rogue sprinkles in, like Ritual Beast, with because it's a shifter deck. We have Gimmick Puppet because it's an FTK deck, so we'll see if people are playing hand traps or breakers, and if people are on breakers, then Gimmick Puppet FTK is going to be kind of tough. Branded FTK is going to be kind of tough, so we'll see how that kind of goes. We'll see what, yeah, well, I'll see what to expect. I really do expect a lot of Tenpai, especially in the early rounds, because it's just such a relatively cheap deck. It doesn't require anything like hard to find out of info. It doesn't require Fiendsmith cards. It doesn't, you know, it's not too difficult to play, honestly. So, yeah. And then the other like rogue thing I want to watch for is going to be Runic Stun. Like, it's such a kind of oppressive format with Fiendsmith Snake Eye and Yubel, or Fiendsmith Yubel, and maybe Runic Stun will be high in popularity because it's cheap again, and it can beat the other decks. So we'll see what happens there. Beyond that, let me see here. Yeah, that's about it that I really wanted to talk about today in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of this like podcast format, me kind of just yapping at you, because I kind of do like this format of video. Like, it's just lets me kind of air my thoughts out. Again, if you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. The channel's growing slowly. Even though I haven't been posting, I've still been getting new subscribers, so if that's one of you guys recently, thank you for subscribing, even though I haven't been posting lately. Follow my Twitter, my X account, link down below, and join the Discord if you want. Come say hello there. And yeah, with that, we'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see you soon.